Hey everybody, today I want to talk a little bit about cutting the cord and streaming services and how you pay for the content that you enjoy. Now, my family made the decision to drop cable literally years ago. I can't tell you how many years ago it was, but it's probably at least 4 years ago that we dropped cable. We found we didn't watch the shows that often. What we did end up watching was usually stuff that was on demand anyway. We were paying for Netflix streaming, and that's where we were watching most of our content anyway. So we really didn't get the benefit of cable, and um, we did have a DVR at the time, and we were recording the shows that we wanted to watch, but we'd find that the DVR was almost always full. Even when we were deleting the shows that we wanted to watch every week, there just wasn't enough storage, and the even the digital cable quality wasn't even as good as the streaming quality at the time. So we started looking at what we really watch and what we really use, and we decided to go with Netflix. And Netflix was a great service for a while. We used it; it was great. We still use it to this day for their streaming service. Um, and we actually still pay for the DVDs because there are some things you just can't get streaming. Although we forget for weeks at a time or months at a time to send a DVD back, so it just sits there and um, collects dust till we remember there's something else that we wanted. But Hulu came along, and uh, we decided we'd pay for a Hulu Plus subscription so that we could stream to our Apple TV and our iPads and that sort of thing, so we didn't have to watch on the computer all the time. And Hulu was a lifesaver because we could watch our Netflix shows and our movies and stuff like that whenever we wanted. But if we wanted to watch the stuff that was running fairly concurrently, then Hulu was the answer. And it was a great answer. We loved it. Um, when Hulu came out with their uh, $11 a month package so that you didn't have to watch commercials, that was like a gift from heaven for me. I detest watching the same commercial 8 times in an hour, and the fact that I could pay $4 extra a month and not have to watch any of their advertising meant the world to me. Even their shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that I really enjoyed, uh, that weren't part of their no ads program, there was only an ad before and after the show, so it wasn't even like it was that big of a deal. I don't mind watching a 30-second or a 1 minute ad at the beginning of my show. I just hate watching the same ad 6, 8, 10 times in the same show. And heaven help you if you're binge watching, trying to catch up. You know, you'll watch the same ad literally 40 times in one night, and I know none of those companies are going to watch this YouTube video, but companies, I'm telling you, if I see the same ad more than twice in an hour, it almost guarantees I will never purchase that product unless I'm already using that product, in which case your advertising is wasted. So I don't know what the right answer is. I know it's hard to get lots of advertisers, and they want to get their product in front of people as many times as possible, but I and many people in my generation will not watch the same ad over and over and over again and go, that's a product I really ought to try. 999 times out of 1,000, if I see an ad more than once in an hour, I'm done. I have no use for that product ever. Even if I actually had a use for the product, I'd never buy it. I'd look for an alternative, just because that product's already made me angry. One of the main reasons why I liked Hulu and still do like Hulu is to be able to stream the day after the shows that I watch, which is basically what a DVR was doing for me anyway. But as of this season, many of my favorite shows, The Flash, Arrow, some other CW shows, CW ended their contract with Hulu. They had a 5 year contract that finished, and they weren't able to come to terms. So now many of my favorite shows aren't available for me to stream through Hulu. Um, I still find enough value in Hulu that I'm going to continue to pay for it and pay for it ad free. But and I understand why CW decided to break their contract and not continue with Hulu, because Hulu wasn't giving them any money for the ad revenue. However, their shows are now only available to stream through their website. They say they've got Apple TV and Roku apps coming. It's not on my Apple TV yet, so I can't watch my shows on my big screen. I have to watch them on my computer, which is aggravating to me. And even worse, 12 minutes out of every hour, I'm watching commercials on CW that I had paid to get rid of on Hulu. And once again, they show you an ad about every 8 to 10 minutes, and it's the same set of ads for 2 to 4 minutes every single stinking time. Again, pretty much guaranteeing that I will never ever use that product, because all it's done now is aggravate me. So I see more and more companies going to their individual apps for their content, and I think that they're doing themselves a great disservice by not working better with a company like Hulu, or partnering with a company that already exists like YouTube or somebody like that. YouTube's got their Red subscription now that they could use to really reinforce the existing tools that are out there, because if I have to go download another app, or if I have to go and try and figure out where I watch a show, I'm probably just going to skip it, and that means their ratings are going to drop and their shows aren't going to be as popular as they have been in the past. I am perfectly okay with premium stations like HBO, Showtime, Stars, them having their own app, because they have their own content delivery platforms already. They're already additional to cable. I would love to see more of them do like Showtime does with Hulu and bundle into an existing service rather than having to have their own app. But I find HBO Go a very pleasant service. There's an HBO Now. I can never remember which one it was. Back when I had cable, I had one, and now I have the other because I can pay for it directly instead of having to have a cable subscription. I think that HBO provides a lot of original content, and their app works really well. I don't have any problems with it. Even their website works really well. But again, I don't get pestered with a bunch of ads while I'm watching their content, and I'm willing to pay for that. Another interesting little tidbit, and I know it doesn't have to do with streaming movies or TV shows, is music. I've played around with Spotify, I've used Pandora. None of them, in my opinion, hold a candle to the ease that I've found with Apple Music. Now, the latest iteration of the Apple Music app, I'm not a big fan of. I think that they went backwards as far as user interactivity, but the service itself is excellent. You get access to almost every song on iTunes. You pay a monthly subscription fee. My family happens to pay for the bigger plan where the whole family gets music streaming for free, and we get access to virtually every song out there, and it works great. I've got access to my music playlist on my phone, on my computer, on my tablet. I can stream it to any of my Bluetooth devices or to my Apple TV. It makes listening to music easy, and I find myself listening to more music and broadening out the music that I listen to more than when I had to buy individual songs or buy them off iTunes, or let's just say acquire them in a clandestine manner, which I never liked doing, but it was easier to pirate music than it was to pay for it. Now I pay for a service. I hardly ever even use an MP3. Generally, when I use an MP3, it's one that I've ended up creating through some content creation tool, or it's an audio recording for a podcast or something like that. I generally don't deal with MP3s anymore because I have Apple Music. If there's a song that I want, I go find it. Very rarely is there a song that I'm looking for that I can't find, and on those rare occasions, I can probably find it on YouTube and stream it. So, YouTube is another great content platform. Obviously, it's the one you're watching this video on. But I think that they try and be too much to too many people. I like that there are services like Twitch out there for streaming specifically gaming content. I think that YouTube's good for content creators like myself, like bigger guys, even smaller people, tutorials and things like that. I think YouTube's a great platform for that. I don't think it's the right place to deliver music and television shows and movies and things like that, even on a paid service. It's just not the place that you go to because of the advertising model and that sort of thing. And you never know if what you're watching is going to end up being pulled down in the middle of what you're watching if it's not actually posted by the original copyright owner. So I'd love to hear what everybody else's experiences are cutting the cord, whether or not you've kept cable, whether you go with just internet services, if you subscribe to Netflix, Hulu, YouTube Red, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Music, what services do you use, and what platforms do you end up viewing your entertainment on? Is it primarily mobile? Do you use your desktop? Do you have dedicated media devices like an Apple TV or a Roku? Is it built into your television? What do you do and how do you do it? And what services do you like to use? I'm really interested to find out what other people do, because my Netflix, HBO, Hulu kind of conglomeration that I have serves us very, very well. I know there's other people out there that use services like Sling TV and Amazon Fire TV and things like that, and I like to know what's out there. So leave a comment and we'll have a discussion about it. Anyway, if you found this video helpful or interesting, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.